Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Ant on Music. Before we get started, I just want to address a couple of things. First off, if we were to have a sponsor this week, if I had any sponsors, this would be the one, Ricola. I want to thank my wife Laura for making this week's show possible by going out and getting me these. I have been suffering with some sort of mystery head cold for the past 3 or 4 days. Don't know exactly where it came from, but I have my suspicions. So, went and visited a good friend of mine, John Wilson, in the hospital. He's been under the weather, obviously, otherwise he wouldn't be in the hospital. Now, the deal there is that, John's a good guy. I've known him for almost 40 years, I guess. And he is cousins with Mike Monterulo, who happens to be the manager for Anthrax. So I stopped by the hospital, say hey to John, and see how everything was going. And that was that. So I may have gotten a virus there. Okay. Also, I went to my high school. Went back to my high school. My best man, my buddy Steve, he started up a music club at the high school. And he has me as his partner in crime. And what we are trying to do is mold young minds in the ways of all things hard rock and heavy metal. Pretty cool stuff, if you ask me. Gives me a chance to talk to more people about something I love, which is music. So I could have gotten sick there as well because, even though they're high school kids, they're germ factories. Or it could have been when I was out and about just in general, volunteering my time and picked up a bug there. So who knows? Anyhow, I'm a sweaty, disgusting mess still. No fever, but feel like crap. But I owe you guys an episode, and I figured, all right, let's get to it. Let's do it. No big box sets this week. Aside from the illness, I'd be very remiss if I didn't mention 2 big losses. All right. The bigger of the two is that I lost my birth mom this past week. Weren't on the best of terms, but I do love her dearly, and she was only in my life for 7 years. So, Mom, hope you're looking down and smiling. So that's that. The other loss was a musical loss, okay? And this is, I'm pretty sure, just about every kid that was into heavy metal guitar, the loss of the late, great Ace Frehley of Kiss. Now, if you've been watching my show since the beginning, my podcast here, you've seen me talk about Ace and all the releases and stuff like that ad nauseum. Even about the time that I interviewed him, and you probably saw that picture of the beginning of the episode and wondering, who's that young stud with 2 girls and Ace Frehley? That would be me. And I'm pretty sure I've posted that picture here too. So if you haven't heard the story, we'll go over it quick. We'll look at 2 of the only things I haven't shown you in my Ace Frehley collection. And then we'll move on from there. So, Ace Frehley interviewed him back in the early days of my radio career at WRTN's Midnight Metal on 93.5. And I've told the story 1,000 times. I'm not going to change it. Ace was a royal pain in the ass. He rescheduled the interview several times. Finally, we always did interviews live, midnight till 6 a.m. on when our show was. But that wasn't working for Ace. What ended up happening was we rescheduled to like a Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, which caused me to lose money from my day job at the time. And then on top of it, he wouldn't answer any questions about Kiss. And then he wanted to rig it where it looked like calls were coming from outside, but there were other people inside the studio. Major pain in the ass. So our revenge for Ace was never airing that interview. I wish I knew where it was. I would certainly air it now. That was on the, that's a condensed version. That was when he was promoting Trouble Walking. So anyhow, let's start off our show with taking a look at a couple of Ace Frehley albums that I have not shown before on the show. Barely make it out, but Ace is here on the t-shirt and up behind me on the wall. Rest in peace, Space Ace, fly high. All right, so let's get into it. You got to bear with me this week because whatever I've got's kicking the crap out of me. First thing we got up, 10th anniversary deluxe edition on 180-gram ghostly black ice with blue splatter vinyl. Anomaly. So we've never looked at this one on the show before, so we'll take it out. This is from MNRK Heavy. All right, it's got an alternate cover. Got the track listing on back. It is a gatefold, shows you the albums that were currently out. And I have shown the Spaceman alternate cover on the show if you want to go back and look. And I have shown, I have shown Spaceman. I believe I've also shown Space Invader as well. This is the original cover in here on this side of the gate. Have that on CD, so when I saw the 10th anniversary edition come out, I scapped it up. And we'll take a look at the vinyl. As he said, pretty cool. Apologize for the glare. I'm recording at night. Mornings have been really rough for me, so that's why I'm recording late. I've got that funky ring light thing going, so excuse that crap. And obviously the other one looks just like the first. Pretty cool looking vinyl right there. Ace himself on the labels. And this has got some good stuff on there. Can't complain. You know, it was a pretty strong album from Ace late in the career. And we'll talk about that for a second before we move on to the next one. We got Foxy and Free, Outer Space, which is a cool tune. Pain in the Neck, Fox on the Run, great version of Fox on the Run. Genghis Khan, Too Many Faces, Change the World, Space Bear, the extended version. A Little Below the Angels, well, not anymore for Ace himself. Sister, It's a Great Life, Fractured Quantum, which the Fractured, all four of the Fractured pieces are phenomenal. Hard for Me, Pain in the Neck, slower version, and The Return of the Space Bear. And it's pretty cool. Marty Fredrickson produced Fox on the Run, and this was done in memory of Les Paul, Eric Carr, and Dimebag Darrell. If you haven't heard this one, definitely worth picking up. So that's the first thing we got this week. And it is a pretty cool cover because it is embossed, and it's kind of hard to tell with this light, but you can see a little Ace Frehley right there, embossed in there, kind of cool. We got another Ace one, so we'll do 2 for 2 for Ace this week. Double shot of Mr. Frehley, one of my favorite Bronx boys. All right. So next up we got this bad boy, Origins number 2. Believe it or not, I kick myself now because I never picked up Origins number 1. But so we pick up the second one, and this is Ace's take on 11 rock and roll classics. Here's the cover. This is also from MNRK Heavy. E1 Music, and it is a gatefold. Got your tracks on the back, and there's your gate there with Ace at the Garden in New York City. And this has got some cool tunes on it. It's got Good Times, Bad Times. Obviously the Zepp tune. You got Never in My Life, Space Truckin', which is purple. I'm Down. Jumpin' Jack Flash, obviously the Stones, Politician, Lola by the Kinks. 30 Days in the Hole, which is Humble Pie. Hendrix's Manic Depression. Kicks, We Gotta Get Out of This Place, and a bonus track of She. So you get that. And this is also on colored vinyl. So I'll show you this as well. Pretty funky Space Ace vinyl there. And both of these look the same, so I'm not gonna bother showing you both. But that is Origins 2. I'm sure at some point I'll track down Origins 1 because I'm kicking myself for not buying it when it came out. What an idiot. Next up, we got a couple of Rocktober releases. That's right. So it is Rocktober, and Rhino Records is really good at putting stuff back out into the universe that has been out of print for a while or have never been released on vinyl. So, first up, we've got New York Dolls. Okay, New York Dolls, the seminal glam punk outfit, and they were around the same time, probably, actually a little earlier than Kiss. And they were a tremendous influence on the New York City music scene. And this was one of their latter albums. And they released this. Here's the Rocktober sticker there. Let's see if you can get that where you can see it. And this one's called 'Cause I Says So. And it has this nice little liner notes and lyric sheet inside. And it is on this very cool red vinyl. And it kicks off with 'Cause I Says So. All right. And in addition to that, we get a whole host of tunes, including Muddy Bones, Better Than You, Lonely So Long, which is a good tune. My World. This Is Ridiculous. Temptation to Exist. Making Rain, which I dig. Drowning. Nobody got no bigness. Trash. And Exorcism of Despair. So some cool tunes on there. Like I said, Latter Day. It's produced by Todd Rundgren, which is very neat. It's always got a good sound if Todd's involved. He's one of the great set of ears in the music business, and he does an excellent job with it on this album. And I really like Trash. Trash is a great tune. And at this point in the band, there were only two original members left, with David Johansen and Sylvain. So you have that. New York Dolls, 'Cause I Says So. Also in Rocktober releases. This one I was really psyched for. I got to get the Dolls because it's the Dolls. Had to get this one because it's Typo Negative, and I love Typo Negative. I've got almost everything of theirs on vinyl. Still missing one of the studio albums. You can tell I'm not feeling well. And this is the Rocktober release. It's the re-release of this CD, and there is a replacement of one of the tracks on this. So it started off with same tracks on this. Let's show you the album first before we get too deep into this. So, like I said, apologizing for the glare because of the ring light, but hey, it is what it is. There's the back. And of course, we've got the Drab 4 pictured here with Kenny and Josh and Pete and Johnny right there. A thing of this, I'm kind of surprised. Basic black vinyl, which is unusual. Pretty much everything that I've seen from Run Out Groove and everywhere else that does the typo stuff has always made it on some sort of funky green and black vinyl. This one kind of stands alone in the fact that it's not, or even red or orange I've seen on a couple of them. And like I said, this has a difference of track listing on it. So it starts off on both CD and album with Misinterpretation of Silence and Its Disastrous Consequences, the Wombs and Tombs mix. Then you got Everyone I Love Is Dead, which is a great song. Black Number 1, it is a edited version. Love You to Death. Black Sabbath from the Satanic perspective, which is a very cool version. Christian Woman. Then you got I Don't Want to Be Me. And 12 Black Rainbows. All right. Now, I Don't Want to Be Me is the replacement track on this. And then you get, on the vinyl, I should say. Then you get My Girlfriend's Girlfriend, the Cheese Organ mix. Hey Pete, Pete's Ego Trip version, which is basically Hey Joe redone. Cinnamon Girl, the Depressed Mode mix. Gravitational Constant, and It's Never Enough. And then you get out of this, you remove Unsuccessfully Coping with the Natural Beauty of Infidelity, which is a long track, almost 13 minutes, and Stay Out of My Dream. So you're missing a couple of classics, but you do get that one replacement there. So you probably want to have both CD and vinyl on that one if you can track down the CD. It's been out for quite some time. Next up, going to finally leave New York. We're going to get out of New York. All right, we're going to go out to L.A. and L.A. Guns. This is a first time on vinyl release. Now, they hyped the crap out of this, that this first time on vinyl release, it was going to be on cobalt blue vinyl. Okay, I don't care what color it is, to be honest with you. But mine came, and I got it from Amazon. And I have yet to find anything. And it's not a bootleg. That's the funny thing. It is the official release from Friday Music via the MNRK Music Heavy Group. And this is listed as eruption colored. Okay? No sticker with it. No nothing. So, is this another version that's coming out soon and they haven't announced and I just happen to get a copy slipped to me early? I don't know. But I'm not returning it. I'm keeping it. That's fine by me. So, LA Guns, Man in the Moon. Kicks off with Man in the Moon, which is a great tune from them, especially from the latter lineup of the band. You got Beautiful, which is a really good ballad. Excuse me. Hypnotized, Spider's Web, Don't Call Me Crazy, Fast Talking Dream Dealer, Out of Sight, Turn It Around, and Scream. And I think I might have skipped saying Hypnotize. And it was recorded and mixed by Gilby Clarke of Guns N' Roses fame. You got three members of the classic lineup on here. You got Steve Riley before he went off and did Riley's LA Guns. And you've got Tracy Guns and, of course, the amazing Phil Lewis on vocals. So this is a Friday music release, Man in the Moon. Glad to have this on vinyl, finally. Last but not least, for the stuff that I got to show you, we have one of my favorite new bands, Crownlands. Love Crownlands. Now, I got to admit, all right, I am a little disappointed in this one, okay? It's called Ritual, and it's Rituals 1 and 2. Bear with me, folks. We'll get through this. And you have Ritual 1 and Ritual 2. And it comes on this cool, it's advertised as a blue vinyl, but I wouldn't say it's light blue. It's almost like a Coke bottle green. And it has this inside the vinyl there. Everything's on in black sleeves, but the insert obviously tells the story of Ritual 1, Ritual 2. It's like very long, funky instrumentals, all right? Very token-esque is the best way I can describe it. If you're expecting it to build off of Fearless, you're going to be sadly mistaken. I kind of think it's odd for a major label debut that they put this together as two EPs that came out separately at separate times during the summer that finally came out. Maybe it'll grow on me. Ritual 1 has Dawn, the Storm, Vigil, Dusk, and the Serpent. And Ritual 2 has Tempest, Respite, Shadows Under Moonlight, Mirage, In the Reeds, and Celestial March. So that is everything that I have for you this week. When I come back later this week, and hopefully I feel better, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the David Gilmour box set and also talk about Record Store Day Black Friday. So we'll go through that whole and entire. Tell you what I'm looking at to pick up. Want to thank everybody that's tuned in faithfully week after week. For the new people that just joined up, thank you so much. Thank you for tolerating me and my rough voice, rougher than usual, and the crazy lights and the glare and all the other crap that's going on. So I hope everyone has a good week. Hope to talk to everyone soon, either here in the comments or elsewhere. As I always say, peace, one love, music, and I'm out.